All right, small technical difficulty, but we are back with Anthony Moran. So here's the thing that most movies you never see, like they'll come in with their insert of, like a mini poster or something like that. When I say practical effects and they live up to their name of the movie and everything like this one comes with a barf bag. What was the like the how did you come up with the idea of putting a barf bag in there?
Okay, here's how we came up with the barf bag right away. I had I had the Dawn of the Dead, or excuse me, the Mark of the Devil barf bag, and I create a lot of merch with the IAP. The strong arm dog tags, lettuce toys, chainsaws. We have other lettuce toys. I do two of each packaging. When I was a kid, going to Toys R Us was everything. These are super detailed. Shout out to Bootleg as Fuck Toys. We worked together to design these new packages. But here's a lady I was married to for 20 years. Her name's Rebecca Solano. I refer to her as sister number one. And we've done a lot of things together. We've done a lot of albums together and, music videos and movies. I have a lot of respect for her. And she came up with the barf bag idea. It was a couple weeks before I had just got it done editing, and there were, like I love marketing. I like putting things out, in a certain way. And she's like, "We need something more. We need something more." I can't believe what other ideas we had. But right when we look, she goes, "We need something else." And I look down and I show her Terrifier had done a barf bag. Remember, I told you it was Mark of the Devil?
Yeah.
But Terrifier did like a random one. It might have even been a fan one. And she saw it while it was on my iPad. It goes, "We need a barf bag." And I go, "We do." And it was like we did it together, but it was her idea, like first, like saying the word. And then I designed the barf bag. And then, like, you wouldn't believe there's a dude right now who could be watching this. He has a film production company, and he wrote me and just said, "Hey man, I love your aesthetic. Do you care if I make a barf bag for my film?" You know what I mean? That he said, "Hey, the artist who does your poster art, I want him to do the poster art to my film," And that ended up happening. And I don't look at lattice copying. I make that like the world's going around and around. We're passing business around and money around, like going back to, spending money ain't bad. So that barf bag, okay? Now, I might not have 100,000 Instagram followers, but gosh dang it, and I don't brag because it all goes back into the future projects. It just goes right into re-upping the merch. It goes whatever. If I say I eat off this, all I do is just get a lunch to eat to keep working. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm using this to buy a yacht. So my whole point, that damn barf bag sold if I told you the amount of number and the amount of units that moved because of the barf bag, and this was all over the world, you'd have a heart attack. So, kids, when you're doing something, presentation is everything. Down to when they say, like, you go to court, like dress up in a suit. When you have your freaking toy, you gotta have it look badass. You get the coolest artist to do everything. Ours says support films made in Detroit. This film should be played loud. Our X, our logo. Look at this film should be played loud. The hand Shagrat from Detroit band Acid Witch did all that. So yeah, like here's the VHS. Here we go. I don't know if any of the color tapes are here, but yeah, the VHS tapes here. I'll use a different tape. Here's a colored, right down to look at my partner AC. We designed this rated X VHS decal,
Yeah.
put that on there. We're trying to do stuff we don't see anybody else doing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
We also have we do a professional. We do the logos, warning this film's thing. But look at this cool one, the Hot Wheel tire that
Oh yeah.
says Ford Films made Detroit, and where the American Racing Wheel Hubcap has our AIP logo, which
Oh
right
yeah.
now I'm all about like moving forward and monetizing things. It with like I'm into creating merch and like monetizing things and keeping it rolling to make other merch and other projects. And I want to put out this other film called The Caretaker in New York. My guy John, who's playing the sheriff in 1%. So it's not like, because people do, it's in their nature to like, even if they like something, like they will love my film. I'll get guys who wanted to donate, they loved it and everything, but for some weird reason, they didn't, right? And then now later on, they're like, yeah, man, I missed the ball. I really, blah, blah, blah. But for some reason, like maybe they didn't like me, maybe they, you know what I mean? Like maybe, how people are finicky. And
Oh
then
yeah.
like, wow, that does look cool. Can I get that? I'm sorry, I should have got a long time ago. I don't hold grudges. You know what I mean? I'm just not trying to, I'm doing and trying to put out like products that are just like cool as hell and done the right way that anyone would want it, from a kid to whatever. I'm not just doing it just for horror fans. Not to go on a tangent, but when I was a kid, like I'm not one of those guys. Oh, when I was a kid, I used to walk 3 miles in the snow. My toys were better than yours. No, 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 no. What I'm getting at is like they were giving the people what they wanted in the 80s as far as toys. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the packaging was real cool. And now I'm not, we're kind of going back to that, hence tangible media is just like it was now in the 80s. People can't, even although people can go to the Roku TV, they can't collect those movies tangibly, which ushered in this whole thing. I was just talking to Jerry from Synapse about this. Jerry's sold more DVDs and Blu-rays than anybody I know. But my point is about talking about this. The frickin' barf bag has sold over, I don't even want to say it. I mean, $15,000 of DVDs were just because of the barf bag. And the movie hasn't even streamed yet, and it's just turning a year old, October 15th. As of today,
Yep.
Let Us In turns 1 year old today. We had the premiere last year, October 15th.
Hey,
Wow, I'm really
happy
excited.
birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, this is really important to me. Now, listen to this all through this because I want to hear you talk, but listen to this. All through this, there has been a reoccurring theme with myself in Detroit and other higher ups that I'm self-made, but there are other higher ups now who have found out about me, and they want what I'm doing to be made possible. And does that mean they're giving me money or whatever? No, but listen to what I'm getting. I'll give you a few examples. I went to go see Evil Dead at the screening. Bruce Campbell was there, and it was the anniversary, and it was at what was it, the 40th anniversary or something, 50th, whatever, and it was at Redford Theater, right?
Yep.
And he was there, and that's where they premiered it years ago. And when I went there, my guy Long Gone John, he does the shows there, the program. He wanted me to have the Strong Arm and the Let Us In premiere there. It's just so big. We had it at the UFO, but I'd still like to do something there. So it was packed. I got there 5 minutes late, and I went up way in the back. This girl, there was a Q&A. He got to her. She asked her questions, and she goes, because of seeing you, I'm moving to LA. I was going to do it, but now I'm going to solve my money, and I'm going to move there. What type of movie do you want to see? And I swear to God, he pointed right directly at me, dude. And he goes, I want to see that guy make a movie about this fucking area right here. He goes, go right behind the theater. He goes, did you see those streets? He goes, go over there. I'm from here. I'm Bruce Campbell. I lived in Detroit. He goes, I went to the drive-in on Grand River to see Evil Dead. That's what inspired all this, the chainsaw. He goes, but he goes, you're going to do something special. I don't want to see rehash shit. Okay, so you know how that happened. Well, then we ended up filming a bunch of the movie right over there, you know, and off Otter Drive at 7 Mile and everything. And there's no train station in our movie, you know. But then, you know, the rest in Southwest. But one thing is, then when we had the premiere October 15th, that was the premiere of Evil Dead, premiered like 50 years on that night.
Oh
And
yeah,
then there was like another connect. And then the guy who was in Thou Shall Not Kill ended up donating a lot of the money to let us in too. You know, he did the Sam Raimi's movie. So,
yeah.
and then also the bag that I carry is I'm way into, and who would be think we living in these times where, you know how Raimi did all 8mm films like within the woods first? Well, he
Yeah.
did a kick-ass Strikers War, Thou Shall Not Kill one with Bruce Campbell as the main guy. Well, I love the scene where they're listening to the Beatles, number nine, and the Manson character that what's his name plays, Raimi plays. You know, when he puts his hands, he's like, "This is not gonna feel good." You know, I was gonna say, if you look, what's his name's brother, Ted Raimi, has no shirt on and a Nazi helmet on. World War II, I don't want to, it was an infantry helmet. We don't want to promote any Nazi shit. But what I'm getting at is he had no shirt on. He was ripped. And he was dancing. Well, he didn't even remember doing that. And because I don't think he's in Strikers War. But I saw him, you know what I mean? And he was at one of my events, and he came up, and I had him sign my bag, "Thou shall not kill." You know what I mean? And he was
Yeah.
just real cool. And yeah, I just want to represent my stock and what I come from. And I'll give one last analogy, similar to the movie, you know, Michele Sobi. I like the way he did Cemetery Man. How you look at the villa in Cemetery Man. Doesn't it give you a vibe like if you and I wanted to know what some mountainous region in, you know, Italy, a villa? Then
Oh
I
yeah.
see the special features of Rupert Everett. It's like, yeah, that's like an exact. That's like one of the best movies he's ever seen or been involved with that represents that in things. I like things that I like other life and looking at things that are indigenous to that area.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
sort of like that remains and streets getting reclaimed, sidewalks getting reclaimed in the ground, reclaiming it. Detroit's, you know, reclaiming its sidewalks and the
Oh yeah.
desolate, the abandonedness. I like recreating that for our viewers, you know. Talk
Yeah.
to me, brother.
So I would like to talk about India Rose for a minute.
Oh, let's do it.
So
Shout out to my girl, India. I love you, India.
she, all right, in my opinion, she personified three characters from other movies, but all rolled into one.
Yeah. Ken Foree from Dawn of the Dead. That's who I based her off of, but I wanted a female because I believe in female power. But go on. Sorry.
Right. I was actually going to say that she definitely reminded me with the way that she talked and how she used her words and stuff like that as a Uma Thurman from Kill Bill. I don't know if that's what you were
No,
going for,
I see that. You want to know why? Because like the first week of filming, she sent, or when we got done filming before the premiere, she's like, "Yeah, I'm doing the second film," and she was in that Kill Bill outfit doing a karate kick like this high into a dude's face for another movie, and I was like, "Oh, that looks so much like Kill Bill." So yeah, I totally see that.
and then the second one, Ellen Ripley from Alien, because she was determined to make sure ain't nothing gonna happen to her. And then the third one is going to be a little bit of a shocker, but I kind of picked up a little bit of Pam Grier from Coffee.
Fuck yeah! I went to go see Pam Grier and talk to her at the Redford Theater. I went to go see her live there. There wasn't that many people there, and I'm not knocking her. It was real intimate. And there were people there, but it was intimate. And I love Pam Grier. Those are all kick ass. See, I love film because, like, my dad, for example, when he was younger, you know, like Bob Dylan said, someone went up to him and said, "Oh, I love that your song says this and it's about this." And Bob Dylan was like, no, my song doesn't say that. But he goes, but it does say that to you. And so my dad used to think that the Beatles, excuse me, audience, I said the allergy season is crazy for me. But what I was going to say is, my dad used to think the Beatles song was paid for that Chrysler, Chrysler, da-na-na-na-na-na-na, instead of Paperback Writer. So my dad thought Paperback Writer was paid for that Chrysler. What I was going to say is I love the audience interpretation of they can interpretate and see anything.
Oh yeah.
And I dug, okay, I wanted India. I wanted a strong woman, no guy.
Oh yeah.
Wanted an African American straight up. Doesn't mean I'm exploiting it. It's from what I see. It's the city I grew up in. I watched some of these shows. I touched on this in this last podcast, but I like to talk about different things in each podcast. But I was going to say, I looked up and the people I was around go, yo, there's no Arabic nurse, there's no Chinese nurse or Chinese doctor, or there wasn't a female doctor, it was a female nurse. And that the hospitals I go to have female doctors and male nurses and African American nurses. Stopping that right now. That cycle stops now. I understand if you don't have black friends or you're making your film from your friends, but go to a fucking casting agency and leave it up. Go to the school, the community college, and leave notes in the coffee place, or the go to the acting teacher and say, hey, I'm doing this film, could you let some of your students know about it? Make your films relatable. I understand if you're doing a horror movie out in up north and there's really no black people around or whatever. I also stick firm on that too. Like Strong Arm isn't, not to get in Strong Arm, but when Rob, the African American actor who plays the Afro biker, he's a real good friend of mine. That was he produced Let Us In. He was the main actor biker in Let Us In with me, the Afro biker, and then Zeke, and then he was in Strong Arm is Automatic Slim, right? But like Rob said when I met him in Strong Arm, when we met, and I was telling him about the premise of Strong Arm, we started it out by talking about the fucked up shit that has happened to us in Detroit.
Oh yeah.
And the things that we want. So what we said was, I'm not saying some queen, and when I say queen, I refer to women as that. I mean, women are queen. There's nothing higher than a woman, and I respect them so much. But I'm not saying some white or black or Asian queen couldn't, be, special forces and break down and take care of some motherfuckers, Kill Bill style. That's not what I'm saying. But we're talking about what happens to vulnerable people that get stopped at the gas station or whatever. So Rob and I started exchanging stories that happened to each other, and then they were kind of loosely pertain to each other. So follow me for a second. So he was like, yeah, I want to do it kind of 70s traditional, to where it is a guy like you, do you know what I mean, that goes after some black guys that, you know what I mean, they got a white guy in their crew. But he was like, let's make it let's not be afraid of stereotypes, and let's make it what Detroit's really like. Like if you're white and you walk down a city block, you know what I mean, your head's getting slammed up against the thing in the nines. If you're a mark, now they might not come up to some outlaw biker, maybe they will come out to an out biker. And when I say they, do I mean black people? No, I mean the city coming up. You know what I mean? The day is the city. I'm talking about you getting gas and a random bullet hitting you in your fucking head. Do you know what I mean? Headshot, red dot, it's coming. I'm telling you, if you're not paying attention to watching your back. So we were talking about our stories of Detroit that happened to us, and then he was like, yeah, let's not put any tremendous pressure on flubbing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so also too, like you said, there's some wooded area shots too. You notice how Detroit is, one block will look like it's in the middle of the city and it's all concrete, then the next block is all like looks like you're up north.
Oh yeah.
Like that, we do that a lot too. You know what I mean? But yeah, in the movie, we really was strong arm. Like, yeah, man, we didn't want to. We really wanted to show it like rough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So with Let Us In, let's go into the kind of like the back half of the movie for a little bit.
Yeah, let's do it.
So once they got to the house, once you and your crew got to the house, and you guys got in the house, it was kind of like you guys did it military style, minus the chainsaw.
Yep.
But what it was is like your sergeant went in first, then your lieutenant, and then your right hand man, and then you.
Yep.
And the way that was portrayed, I was sitting there thinking like, now I'm picking up a little bit of like, maybe this biker crew all were together in a military somewhere. I don't know, but that's just the way.
Bikers, let me cut you off. I won't go on a tangent here. I know I like to talk a lot. I was gonna say, um, I don't like. I don't know how I can word this. My dad doesn't talk a lot about the biker stuff. Okay,
Yeah,
but he does about in certain ways. You know, like ways that are the positive ways, and one of them is half of the dudes are from the military in the clubs,
yeah,
and they don't get any more recognition than the other guys in the club who aren't military, because the whole club is run like a military organization. You got
yeah,
your sergeant at arms. You got your where you can go check out your weapons if they even have any weapons in the clubhouse. Any outlaw clubhouses I know, they don't have weapons out. Ha ha, police, if you're wondering. But what I'm saying is they run it like a hierarchy. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Just like there's a hierarchy in prison and jails and whatever. You know, like people nowadays think everything's so black and white. So yeah. What was I gonna say? I was very concerned about the way that I wanted them to roll up the house too. So not to give spoilers, you know how you see a lot of these SOVs or any of these lower budget movies. I don't like to call Let Us In lower budget because we did awesome lighting, state of the art camera lenses, 4K brand new state of the art cameras, and we had serious motherfuckers involved. We had one of the best practical effects guys in the world, James Bell. So and maybe that movie might have cost someone else who wasn't, you know what I mean, hit the ground running like I was with Strong Arm. You know, I went right into Ledison. They might have, it would have definitely cost them a lot more money. But here's what I'm getting at is that yeah, the movie, how can I word it? Just what you were saying though. The movie just yeah, we put the special effects in there and everything, and yeah, the movie's just, I kind of lost my thought on that. Keep going. It might come back to me.
I do like how once they got to the house, I do like how the roles kind of
Oh,
switched a
let me
little
jump
bit.
back. Let me jump
Oh,
back. That's
yeah,
what it was. So, oh no, no. So listen. So everything you said, I mean, you're very perceptive. You said that I was meticulous when I was writing and wanted everything to be a certain way. Oh fuck yeah! So listen to this. So you know how you see these lower budget movies? I said I didn't like to call Let Us In low budget. Sorry, audience. What I meant by that was I never see people in these low budget movies other than my mentor, not to drop names, Jim Van Beber and Dawn, Deadbeat at Dawn. You know, he's scaling the wall and coming down. That's that. So what you got to do is go all out in your movie, right, and shock the audience. You know. So with Let Us In, I wanted to with Let Us In, I wanted to be Road Warrior-esque when they're riding in the truck. I thought when people, my peers, see that them riding in the truck, When do you ever see that? Do you see that much in movies? People
No.
standing up and walking back and forth when a car's going 45, 50 miles an hour. You know how dangerous that was? I mean, we were doing that 10-degree weather too, and you saw me. I'm telling them what to do and standing up. And dude, I mean, I was hanging off one leg, this and that. There was a lot more dangerous stuff I did that you didn't see. But my point is, I wanted that right before they approached the house. Then when they approached the house, that was a specific shot, like a comic book. Mark had brought out how it goes behind all the colors. Then we kneeled down. I wanted that. I looked at it as like a waltz even. Do you understand? Like I looked at it like we were lining up for a football game and then waltzing. They go around the house and then it becomes like Black Christmas, Bob Clark style. Or Michael Myers, you know, when he's outside the house, they're looking. I scale the wall, this and that. But my point is, then when we enter, you'd figure we'd all come and siege the house from different areas, right? Like from the back, front, whatever. No, we did it militarily through the door and we did it shock. We cut the door down. But did you notice we come in like they do in Clockwork Orange? Rob comes in, hey, straight. The girl comes in, Meg, doing circling around to the left. I then what you call it, the biker, I come in after. So it's like this, you know what I mean? It's
Oh
like
yeah.
a the way we come in. So yeah, I'm glad you noticed that. I really planned that beginning with Mark really meticulously.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What I like about when they got to the house was that hold on, let me get back to my rating. Originally, you know what my original rating was, right?
What, 6.9?
6.9. So after
Which is
watching it,
high actually. What do I complain about? That's basically 7.
actually what's funny is after me and my wife watched it, she rated it a 7. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to go and watch it a third time. I'm going to let it rest for a couple of days, then I'm going to go back because I want to be able to catch what I didn't catch the first time, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
when I went back to watch it the third time, I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, now I'm starting to pick up on this and I'm starting to pick up on that. And to me, in my brain, it started coming together more of a cohesive, like that's where the meticulousness came in, you know? And I was like, all right, so now I very rarely change my ratings. That's just who I am. But
Most
it
people
has,
don't, and why should you? Because that's your rating. Keep going though. Keep going.
oh yeah. But after analyzing everything, it's gone from a 6.9 to an 8.
And you know what? If I can stop you, and I'll keep this short. Oh, thank you. Because here's why. I totally think it's an 8, and I think if you said to someone, why did you go from a 6.9 to an 8? The way I would look at it is like I'm hands on everything I do. I know you can't do everything, you know, and you got to delegate certain things to certain people. But when you can, like with your art, like with the tapes, I'm hands on. I edit, so I'm there, you know, I'm hands on with the art. I bring an outline and show what I want. My point when I'm commissioning art, my point is, excuse me, my point is, um, 1 second. My point is that I feel it deserved an 8 because of the effort, the execution, it executed and did its job. And it's a great example of a movie not looking like a low budget piece of shit. It looks beautiful. Like, because some people I'll ask them and they love the movie, and I'm like, what do you think? And they're like, Tony, it just looks good. But I love the kills and everything, but it just looks good. So what I was gonna say is, what more is definition, a better definition than an 8? You know what I mean? So I
Oh, yeah.
feel like, you know, and a movie is meant to have been watched over and over again too. And you know, most movies, like some of these saws or whatever, like, okay, there's 10 saws. I'm not dissing them. Jim Van Bember recently told me that and for the audience members that don't know him, he directed a grindhouse masterpiece in the 80s called Deadbeat at Dawn. And he also directed what you call it, the Manson Family, which is just like out of control, one of the best movies ever made. And then his new movie that I am in is called Sideshow Souls. It's 75% done. I have only said that on this show. So, because this is my Detroit homie, everybody, Josh Wynn, has so graciously been cool and invited me on this his show NC-17. Thanks, Josh. I wanted to say, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for
But
accepting the invite.
oh no, man, dude. Thanks for accepting me into your heart, you know what I mean? And what you call it, I'm not selling drugs, I'm selling dreams, you know what I mean? And ideas. Seriously. If I can't make it, you're from Southwest. And I'm like doing it this hard, right? And I'm
Yeah.
really caring. How the fuck is your daughter gonna make it? I don't mean that your daughter isn't gonna be more talented and you know what I mean, and like she can't make it. No,
Yeah.
I it's like if you take away and shut down all the baseball stadiums, right? And
Uh-huh.
say you cannot make a living in professional baseball. There is no more whatchamacallit. How the hell is your daughter gonna wanna, you know what I mean? She could be the best baseball player in the world, but she's not gonna want to do that if they're, you know what I mean? You can't play anyway. Or
Oh, yeah.
play, you know, like I was a good damn skateboarder, but they had no skate parks when I was there. So my point is I take this real seriously. So Jim Van Beber was this how this pertains to your question. He was asked to do Saw 4, and he said, you know, you got to be very careful of the impact of what you do as an artist. And I didn't want to do that. He said. Now I have a little bit of different take. I agree on that. I would have I want to do my own films, but if they gave me a reign of doing my own thing, I would have did it because I feel like on some of these movies, they could be done right. You know what I mean? But they
Oh,
just
yeah.
kind of same old thing. Now I'm not saying I want to do Saw 4. I'm just saying if they gave me a movie like Titanic 666 or something, do you know what I mean? I
Oh, yeah.
could have way better and really given them something like I said, we got some big films in the works. Like if I told people right now, people probably fall on the ground. And these movies are like some of them are greenlit, so we're just like going right in. But my point is you okay. So yeah, okay, they're coming out with Saw 10. They must have done a good job because people are going to the theater to see it. But here's one thing. Who the fuck can decipher Saw 5 from 3 or Saw 3 from 7 or 8 right now with how many they're going on? Even if you're into it, I'm sure with the guy with all the Saw guys behind him could tell us right now, you know what I mean? Like the figures and everything. Okay, great. If you're only into Star Wars. But here's what's cool about a movie. Oh, and do you really want to go back and watch Saw 4? Do you want to see those tortures again? Unless they were done in such a creative way and you were like, damn, I never seen anything like that. I want to go back and review it. Well, movies are meant to be discussed, they're meant to be watched again. And since I'm hands on, I have to watch, I dub the tapes. So, I mean, I'm dubbing tapes. These are orders all go out tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let me just show a couple so the audience knows how much hard work this is. My hours are I stay up for 72 hours and then I sleep about 7 because that's how many orders I'm going now. And when I tell you, I mean, the list goes, look at how beautiful the double features turned out.
Oh, yeah.
And then look at it's just I just want to show you. And this is all grabbing, like it's like a skateboard factory. It's like a skateboard factory. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
These I just made yesterday. So and I'm constantly making. So let me finish my point. I'm sorry, it's taking a second. So Jim Van Beber, he could have did Saw, right? I was saying how many people remember Saw. Well, you said you had a 6.9. You don't usually change your ratings, but you went again and reviewed it with your wife. She dug it. She's a scaredy cat. She's not really into horror movies. And then you watched it a third time and you really dug it. Well, my point and what I'm getting to is that I dub these tapes because I'm so hand on right now. Maybe one day there will be a time when I don't. I also like it because I autograph a number and it's come from me, you know, my blood, my sweat, tears. Tim Jenkins from Acid Witch's artwork. So you're getting a piece of me like a real painting. But my point is that Lettison's meant to be fucking watched. I've watched it hundreds of times, and not just because it's my own movie. If shit, I've sold, I don't even want to tell you how many VHS I sold, because if I did, you wouldn't believe me. So look at how many times I had to dub it there. So I'm not bragging how many I sold. I'm bragging that you can, the movies eye candy all the way through.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you can watch more and more. And I wasn't ever planning on doing a sequel. I know you didn't ask me. I'll just say this part two. And so Evil 1% is a sequel. The very beginning picks off on that last night, like, right, you know, when they're all fighting at the very night in the alley. You know what I'm
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about? Up, it doesn't even have credits. It goes right into it. And but then it explains what happened, and then it brings us to the present day. But yeah, it all set it up. And one last thing, a lot of people, not a lot of people, some people had come out to me who wanted to pay me money for streaming, etc. And they were saying, "Oh, the movie's only 62 minutes long." You know what? No, no, no. You know what I mean? What is sex bad if it's good, quick sex, right? You know what I
Right.
mean? Or does it have to be 2 hours long to just be good sex? So you've never had good, quicker sex. So my movie, I feel, not feel, I know it's 62 minutes because it moves right. You already said that, that the pacing, everything was right. The reason why I'm even mentioning this, segue to the next question, is because Evil 1% is going to explain a lot more, and it's going to be a lot longer, and it's on a more epic scale, like Dawn of the Dead style. And there's going to be a lot more kills, you
All
know?
right.
So
All right.
I'm glad, real quick, I'm glad you found it in your heart to give it a name, and that you saw a lot more in the movie on the third watching.
All right. So we got about 2 minutes left.
You go today, whatever.
Oh no, I'm gonna let you plug your socials
I'll do that in
and
the last 30 seconds. I'll make it fast. You talk
uh,
for me.
I first I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Josh.
And then when Evil 1% comes out, if you want to come back on and we'll discuss that, you're more than welcome.
Oh, I want to.
And other than that, it's definitely check out Let Us In, and definitely check out Strong Arm. We'll talk about that another time too,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
I watched that one 5 times already. But that's a
All
uh,
right.
but
Thank you,
yeah,
Josh. Hey,
on no problem. Thank you for putting out great entertainment. That's
hey, real
that's
quick, not to get into stronger. Oh, no, no. And here I'm cutting you off and you're giving props. No, dude, I'm only doing good entertainment because of people like you are wanting it and buying it. But since you're a Detroit cat, did you like how Isham and Nadas did the soundtrack of Strong Arm?
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Strong Arm soundtrack's coming out soon. I just want to say that. But most of all, the podcast, or not the podcast, the online Evil 1% fundraiser is going to be happening the next couple of weeks. So I'd hope a lot of viewers would come and check it out. Got a lot of
All
cool
right.
things we're going to give away.
Oh yeah. All right, we got a minute left. Last minute's yours. If you want to do 20, 30 seconds plugging your socials, and then we'll close it up.
Yeah, no problem, man. Hey Josh. Yeah, I'm sorry because I kind of gave some long answers, but I just love the questions and the things that you brought up. Dude, much love to you, my Detroit homie, dude. Seriously, I didn't know you were from Southwest. And
Oh yeah.
then to the audience, yeah, my company is Independent American Pictures, and I've been doing this since 2014. All of our media is tangible, and it's handmade. All the VHS, the decals are designed and handmade by me and my partner AC. This next movie, Evil 1%, you can, how about this? Get Let Us In. We have a DVD, comes in a barf bag. We can give you a digital link too. We have VHSs of it. We have toys from the movie, t-shirts, tons of cool merch, hoodies. And then yeah, you can also get it, or excuse me, you can get Strong Arm, our first film, on VHS and DVD. So hit me up on Independent American Pictures IG, or hit me up on the Facebook Anthony Moran, and you'll see it says Let Us In